In this video, I'm going to talk to you about the 5 people who you need to stay away from and why. Number 1, the negativity type. This is the type of person who always assumes the worst of everyone and everything. They quickly and easily find reasons to complain, and they can be easily triggered by even seemingly petty, trivial things. Why should you stay away from them? Because their negativity will bring your own mood down. You will constantly feel exhausted having to listen to them complain about everything. And since they're so negative, they are incapable of genuinely feeling happy for other people. In fact, if something good does happen to you, this might even turn them against you. Why are they like this? Sometimes it's because they have very, very low self-esteem and very low self-worth. And so in being critical of other people, this is a way in which they can feel a bit better about themselves. One of the good things, at least, about highly negative people is that they are at least very easy to spot. This is because they're not trying to be manipulative, they're not trying to put on an act. They just complain all the time about anyone and anything. Number 2, the narcissistic type. Narcissists crave admiration from other people. They typically have this overblown sense of self-importance, and they're also known for exaggerating their talents and achievements. Something interesting about narcissists? People often think that narcissists are in love with themselves. This isn't entirely accurate. It's a myth. Basically, narcissists deep down feel really fragile and insecure. And this is what drives them to constantly seek admiration and praise from other people. So why should you stay away from them? Well, it's pretty obvious, but let's just say it anyway. Narcissists don't care about you. They only care about getting validation, admiration, and praise from you. And if you give them even the slightest criticism, they will most likely get very defensive, which means that resolving any conflict with them is pretty much impossible. They're also known for being incredibly manipulative, which can make it really hard for you to spot them. Because narcissists are so manipulative and defensive, the best thing you can do is simply distance yourself from them as much as possible. Number 3, the manipulative and controlling type. This is the kind of person who manipulates you for their own personal gain. So it could be that they have a personality disorder, such as psychopathic, narcissistic, or borderline personality disorder. Or it might be that they are a highly emotional person with very low emotional intelligence. In other words, this makes it really hard for them to have empathy for other people because they are constantly putting their own feelings first. In that sense, being manipulative of other people is their way of soothing their ego, such as blaming other people rather than taking responsibility. In this respect, they are emotionally fragile and they're trying to get that emotional validation from other people. So why should you stay away from them? Again, this is pretty obvious. It's because they are only using you to benefit themselves in some way. Because these people are so manipulative, you cannot resolve conflict with them. If you do try to address your concerns with them, most likely they will fake an apology or they'll try to find some way of putting the blame on you. Number 4, the passive-aggressive type. These are people who, instead of addressing their concerns with you directly, they try to inflict their anger on you in subtle or maybe not so subtle ways. They basically try to punish you and put you in a position where you're essentially asking yourself, did I do something wrong? Are they angry at me? This means that they're not actually trying to resolve conflict with you. They're trying to punish you instead. Something that this type of person might do is secretly test you in some way. So, for example, someone might think, I don't think Claire's a very good friend. She never messages me. I'm going to count how many times she does message me in the next week. The reason they do this is because for them, it's easier to test you than communicating their concerns with you directly. And also because they readily focus on your faults. To be honest, if someone is passive-aggressive, then your relationship with them is almost certainly doomed to fail. This is because for a relationship to survive, you need to be able to resolve conflict in healthy, constructive ways, and this is exactly what a passive-aggressive person does not do. Number 5, the I'll drag you down with me type. This is the kind of person who's on a downward spiral, and rather than getting help or trying to change, they're instead dragging you down with them. This downward spiral is usually an addiction of some sort, but it can otherwise be some other reckless, self-destructive behavior. The problem that you have is that they want you to join them in their self-destructive behavior, and this is exactly the reason why you should stay away from them. These are people who are essentially using you to help them feel better about their own destructive behavior. When you have a partner or a friend who's guilty of doing this, then this suggests that they care more about continuing on with this problematic behavior than they do about your own well-being. If they keep rationalizing or coming up with new excuses, then this may be a red flag that it's time for you to distance yourself from them. So, to summarize, the people who you need to stay away from include the negativity type, the narcissistic type, the manipulative and controlling type, the passive-aggressive type, and the I'll drag you down with me type. Was there anyone I missed or anything that you disagree with? Let me know in the comment section below. Thanks for watching.